Hello students. I am Gyan from English Magus. Welcome to yet another lesson. Today we are going to study and discuss Chapter 3, Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues, from Hornbill. We shall delve into the mysteries surrounding King Tutankhamun, uncover hidden secrets, explore archaeological discoveries, and unravel the enigma of this legendary pharaoh. Let's embark on this captivating adventure together by getting familiarized with the author a bit. A.R. Williams, a former senior writer for National Geographic magazine and online news, has spent almost 3 decades discovering wonders around the world. Her specialization lies in the field of archaeology, and she writes features about places ranging from Egypt to as far as Alaska. Before I start explaining the text, here is a short overview of the chapter to help you grasp its theme. Discovering Tut, the Saga Continues, by A.R. Williams delves into the mysteries surrounding Tutankhamun, the last heir of the Pharaoh dynasty. His teenage death sparked intrigue, and this chapter explores the curse, tomb location, his life, and eventual demise. Archaeological discoveries and forensic reconstruction played a crucial role in unraveling Tut's secrets. Now let's read the chapter and hear its explanation. I would recommend pausing the video and reading the text at each new slide before hearing the explanation for better results. In these lines the author is telling us Tutankhamun, a young pharaoh from a powerful Egyptian family, died as a teenager. His tomb, filled with treasures, was forgotten until it was discovered in 1922. People have since wondered about his mysterious death, even considering murder. Recently, a CT scan of Tutankhamun's body has given new insights into his life and death, allowing for an accurate reconstruction of his appearance. On January 5, 2005, as the wind blew and clouds covered the stars, King Tut's mummy was taken from his tomb in the Valley of the Kings. At 6 p.m., he was placed headfirst into a CT scanner to uncover medical mysteries about the young ruler who had died over 3,300 years ago. Throughout the afternoon, tourists visited King Tut's tomb, located 26 feet underground, to see its murals and his golden coffin lid. Some read guidebooks quietly, while others stood in silence, thinking about Tut's early death as a teenager. Some even wondered if the pharaoh's curse, bringing bad luck to those who disturbed his tomb, was real. In these lines the author is sharing with us Jahi Hawass, Egypt's top antiquities official's views. He said, "The mummy is in very bad condition because of what Carter did in the 1920s as he examined Tut's mummy." Howard Carter, a British archaeologist, discovered Tut's tomb in 1922 after many failed attempts. Despite being robbed in ancient times, the tomb's contents were mostly intact. These lines mean the treasures found in Tutankhamun's tomb are the richest royal collection ever discovered and have become legendary. The stunning gold artifacts, meant to ensure his resurrection, amazed people when they were found and still draw much attention. Tut was also buried with everyday items for the afterlife, like board games, a bronze razor, linen clothes, and cases of food and wine. Here the author tells us after months of documenting the pharaoh's treasures, Carter examined Tut's 3-layered coffins. Inside the first layer, he found a shroud decorated with faded flowers, indicating a burial in March or April. However, he faced a problem when he reached the mummy. The resins used in the burial had hardened, sticking Tut to the bottom of his gold coffin. Carter used lots of force to separate the mummy from the coffin, but nothing happened. In the intense Egyptian sun, Carter tried to soften the resins by placing the mummy outside, heating it to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. However, it didn't work. He reported that they had to chisel away the hardened material from under the mummy's limbs and trunk to lift the king's remains. Carter had little choice but to cut the mummy free. If he hadn't, thieves would have likely bypassed the guards and destroyed it to steal the gold. In ancient Egypt, royals like Tut were extremely wealthy and believed they could take their riches to the afterlife. King Tut was buried with many glittering items, gold collars, necklaces, bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, finger and toe coverings, and his famous inner coffin and mask, all made of pure gold. To separate Tut from his adornments, Carter's team had to remove the mummy's head and cut nearly every major joint. After they were done, they reassembled the body on a layer of sand in a padded wooden box, hiding the damage. This is where Tut's remains now rest. Here the author tells us archaeology has evolved significantly over the decades, now emphasizing the details of ancient life and the mysteries of death rather than just treasure. Modern tools, including medical technology, are used. In 1968, over 40 years after Carter's discovery, An anatomy professor x-rayed Tut's mummy and found something surprising: his breastbone and front ribs were missing beneath the resin coating his chest. A CT scan, like a super X-ray, gave detailed 3D images of Tut's body, revealing more than traditional X-rays. It could unveil details like bone structure, injuries, or diseases, helping determine how he died. Also, by analyzing bone growth, CT estimated his age at death. So, CT scans could help solve mysteries about Tut's death and age. Here the author explains King Tut's death marked the end of his family's dynasty, making it a significant event. However, the details surrounding his demise and its aftermath remain mysterious. His death signaled the conclusion of an era, leaving behind questions about the circumstances of his passing and the implications for his kingdom's future. Now we are going to learn history of King Tut's dynasty. Amenhotep III, possibly Tut's grandfather, was a mighty pharaoh who reigned during the golden age of the 18th dynasty for nearly 40 years. His son, Amenhotep IV, followed him and ushered in a peculiar era in ancient Egypt's history. The new pharaoh, formerly Amenhotep IV, embraced the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, renaming himself Akhente, meaning servant of the Aten. He shifted the religious capital from Thebes to the new city of Akhete, now called Amarna. Akhente shocked Egypt by targeting Amen, a prominent deity, by destroying his images and shutting down his temples. Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago's Luxor Research Center, described the era as tumultuous, suggesting it was a horrific time. The long-reigning family faced its decline, compounded by Akhente's unconventional actions, which he colloquially termed as going a little wacky. Wacky is an informal term meaning eccentric, unconventional, or strange. After Akhente's death, a figure named Smenkhkare briefly emerged, leaving little trace. Following this strange period, a young Tutankhamun ascended the throne, later known as King Tut. He changed his name to Tutankhamun, meaning living image of Amen, and restored traditional practices. Tutankhamun ruled for approximately 9 years before his unexpected death. In these lines we come to know about the Egyptian Mummy Project, which started in 2003. The program has catalogued nearly 600 mummies, with more being discovered. With support from National Geographic Society and Siemens, they scan mummies using portable CT machines. King Tut, among the first scanned, led the way, reflecting his regal stature even in death. This effort shed light on Egypt's ancient inhabitants, uncovering their stories and mysteries. These lines mean using a CT machine, Tut's mummy underwent detailed scanning, producing 1700-1700 cross-sectional digital X-ray images. Scanning his head in 0.62 mm slices revealed intricate structures with eerie detail. The entire body was similarly recorded. A multidisciplinary team of specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy then began unraveling the secrets guarded by the winged goddesses of his gilded burial shrine for centuries. On the night of the scan, workers carefully transported Tut's mummy from the tomb in a box, akin to pallbearers. Climbing a ramp and stairs amidst swirling sand, they lifted him on a hydraulic lift into the trailer housing the scanner. However, the scanner malfunctioned due to sand particle in a cooler fan. Jokingly, a guard attributed it to the curse of the pharaoh, adding a nervous edge to the situation. Despite the hiccup, the replacement fans allowed the scan to proceed smoothly. Technicians ensured no data loss occurred before returning Tut to the workmen, who reverently carried him back to his tomb. Within 3 hours of leaving his coffin, the pharaoh was once again put to rest in the same spot where ancient priests had placed him centuries ago, continuing his eternal slumber undisturbed. In the trailer, a technician displayed remarkable images of Tut on a computer screen. From a jumble of pixels emerged a distinct grey head, which the technician manipulated, rotating and tilting it for examination. The images showcased clear details, including neck vertebrae akin to those seen in anatomy classes, as well as views of the hand, rib cage, and a cross-section of the skull. In these lines the author tells us with the scan completed successfully, Jahi Havas, visibly relieved, relaxed in his chair, a smile of relief on his face. "I didn't sleep last night, not for a second," he confessed. "I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep." After the tense night, the assurance of a job well done finally allowed him to find some rest. These last lines of the chapter mean the author along with other researchers and technicians left the trailer and descended the metal stairs onto the sandy ground. They were met with a stillness that mirrored the solemnity of death in this valley of the departed. Above Tut's tomb entrance, Orion, known to ancient Egyptians as the soul of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, stood sentinel, watching over the young pharaoh, a poignant symbol of eternity. With this the chapter ends. Here is the list of figures of speech used in the chapter. Pause the video and read it. Kindly like, share and subscribe if you found the video lesson helpful. Thanks for watching the video.